So I've always had this creative drive, and it's always been a part of my life, and I always found myself inside on rainy days, you know, creating things with Connects or Legos or anything like that. And then when the sun would come out, my mom would say, get outside, go have some fun and go do something active. So I'd find myself, you know, impulsively jumping on a skateboard. And it was a great outlet for me to exert energy, but also to express myself when I was, you know, an insecure teenager at the time. So I started making videos, and I was, you know, getting a little bit more popular because of it. And I got contacted by some companies saying, hey, we want you to ride for our team. So I eventually, you know, made more videos, and things kind of escalated. I eventually, you know, was being flown around the world and being paid to do something that I loved, which was incredible. But at the same time, there was still that kid inside of me playing with Connects on rainy days, you know, and so I found myself, you know, really striving to push the mental state and find the parallels between the physical creativity and the mental creativity. So I found myself studying architecture and developing this insatiable thirst for mental creation. So I went to school for architecture, I graduated, and now I'm working currently at an architecture firm balancing being a professional longboarder and an architect. Now, most people would think that, you know, if you're a professional skater and an architect, they're about as far away from each other as you possibly could get. But while doing both, I've found that there are definitely parallels between the two, mentally and physically. Like, for example, with skating, there's this freestyle aspect, and it's very impulsive and it's very organic, and you kind of reach out in these impulses and you kind of say, hey, maybe I'll try this trick, or maybe I'll try that trick. And similarly in architecture with sketching, you know, you have these really curvilinear lines, and it's very organic, and you're letting your ideas flow onto the paper very, very organically. On the other side of the coin, there's this technical aspect between skating and architecture too. That with skating, if you're in a race and you need to get down the hill as fast as possible, you find the perfect line, and it's all about precision and timing and shaving tenths of a second off of your line. And with architecture, there's a similarity there too, with creating these really rigid lines and orthogonal projections on the computer with 3D modeling, and it needs to be precise, rigid, and perfect. No matter what craft you're in, there's this undeniable balance between the freedom of self-expression and the pursuit of technical excellence. That balance is where you find your style, I think, and how you can evaluate how you can push your individual craft past your limits, you know, and past your personal parameters. And I think when you start to do that, you can start to inspire other people to do the same in their own craft. You know, if someone gets inspired by you pushing your limits, they apply it to their craft, and then that inspires somebody else, and hopefully it'll come all the way back around and inspire you again. If we can all hone in on that, and we can really find our potential and figure out exactly how we can push our own limits, then we can be everything that we really want to be.
Brian's the director. I just yell car. Car! In harmony.